What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the simulator. Welcome back to the channel, Turbo Talon Golf on YouTube. I'm in my Sim Golf Tour tournaments, and something that's been happening for the last week or two is when I finish a tournament, it doesn't tick it off in here. Usually when you finish a tournament in SGT, it goes away. It's no longer available. That is not happening for me. Therefore, what I'm going to do is try to play something that I know I have not played. Bear Dance Golf Club for DLud. Let's check out the stats. Okay, it doesn't look too bad. 6 foot gimme auto putt. White tees are at about 6,300 yards. Friday pins. Normal green firmness, 11 stimp. Fairway firmness is normal. Wind is breezy. That's about the only thing I don't care for. And then the tournament, it is at 6,800 feet above sea level, so the clubs are going to go further than normal here. Let's get it loaded up. I had a long day at work and had some like headache, neck headache. I don't know if you've ever had one of those. It's kind of here in the base of your neck, but it's a headache. And then I came home and took way too long of an old man nap. And I was like, man, I feel like crap, but I gotta mow the lawn. And then I said to myself, what's to say that you won't feel even crappier tomorrow when it's time to mow the lawn, right? Because that'll be after I'd have played 18 holes of golf that morning. So I put on my blue jeans and my long sleeve shirt, and I mowed the lawn and I trimmed the weeds. And here we are. It is Friday, the 5th of September, 2025, approximately 5:15 Mountain Standard Time. Temperature in the simulator is about 78 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. I guess you could say I'm warmed up because I mowed, I got my heart rate up, but I haven't really done anything that would be indicative of swinging a golf club. But let's check out the first hole. You can see that we've got a split fairway, which is neither here nor there. Let's expand the map. And I need to hit about 236. If I mess around in the mini map, I can tell. Let's say right here on this crest, I can see that it's 14 yards down here at the 190 mark. And then once I get down here to the end of the fairway, it's about 17 yards down. And what that means is that your ball's going to go a lot further than you think because you're above the target, and then your ball's going to roll out. So if I hit a shot right now that goes, say, 220, it's actually going to fly 235, and in reality, it's going to roll out into this, this rough in front of the fairway. And the same goes for the beginning of this other fairway. You only need to really get your ball to go 275 to sit and get on that second fairway. But the reality is that you need to hit 2 shots anyway, so why get weird with it? Let's hit maybe something that goes about 200-ish yards, maybe 210. And especially at this altitude, you're going to fly even further. So you've got a lot of things going on here. What I'm going to do, because I am not warmed up yet, is I'm going to hit off the tee with this Ping G425 5-iron. Life will move on. Hopefully we can get a good strike here. We got some wind in our face. That won't hurt nothing. Is this club dirty from yesterday? You bet it is. I played some golf yesterday. I was about 3 feet from my first hole-in-one ever. And I know that 3 feet's quite a ways. That's a very missable putt. But I watched the ball come in. It was fading over from the tee box. It hit the green and kept rolling right toward the pin. I was like, holy crap, is this going to be my first ace ever? And then the ball stopped about 3 feet from the pin. I don't really keep track of my score on the golf course, but I can tell you that I was able to hit that 3-footer in for birdie, which was nice. And I was excited. I almost got an ace. Despite my best attempt, that was still a little toey, and we are going to be hitting out of the rough. That toey. I'm working on the towiness. But if any of you guys have watched my earlier videos, my first shot off the tee on the first hole without warming up is usually quite a bit worse than that. Okay, moving on. This is going to play, what, 169, 150, 155 into some wind. And since the greens aren't soft, since they're normal firmness, we need the ball to land, I don't know, 145-ish. And I don't know, I kind of don't know what that is with these new ping clubs, but let's give it a shot. We can see the wind's going to want to blow us over a little bit to the right. That was a 9-iron. And overall, not a bad shot. We should be able to get out of here with a par. Was that shot still toey? It sure was. This is 25 feet, probably going to play about 21 feet. Downhill, breaking to the right. Oh my. You guys, the funniest part of the videos that you see in this simulator, especially in the last few months, is that I am, despite some of the scores I get in here, statistically I am a slightly better than average golfer. No kidding. Go in, look at the statistics. I am a slightly better than average golfer. Be like, well, this guy's shooting 85s or whatever in the simulator. Yeah. That's better than average golf. 162 is going to play about 156 into a headwind. What's our 150 club here? And I'm really trying to get up on the ball and not hit the toe. We'll get there. Guys, this is another birdie look, uphill, breaking to the left. It's going to play 9 feet. Oh, that'd have been a birdie. Short game's what separates the boys from the men in golf. What do we got here? 350-yard par 4, The landing area where my driver would normally land is not very hospitable on this hole. Let's try a 5 wood. My whole damn bag is almost ping now. It's kind of funny. I've never owned a set of ping golf clubs, but I did shelf my Mizuno Pro 221 muscle backs. It's just these pings are too good. I was hoping that would kind of draw over. Looks like we're gonna be, that's no fun. That was a good shot. Now we got to do the calculations to get us out of the deep rough and hopefully somewhere near the pin. 118 yards. We know we need to go, I don't know, 130 just to get to the pin. Ball's gonna eject right. We got some wind in our face. We got a whole bunch of factors playing against us here. I think that would have been a pretty good shot had it gone the correct direction, but once again, toey. I'm gonna mess around with some stuff and maybe start reducing the towiness a bit, but I say that in every video and the towiness still comes and goes as it damn pleases if you haven't noticed. 10. All right, it took us 3 shots to get onto the green on this par 4, which means we are likely looking at a bogey. Which is pretty lame. This is 21 feet playing about 16 and a half feet. Good read. That's something you could be happy about on the real golf course, honestly. That brings us back to even. Let's take a look at the landing area for this guy. Again, 380 yard par 4. I'd say maybe we want to get in this region here in the 260, which means we need to hit about 248. And it's downhill, so it's gonna roll out. Wind's blowing to the right. Let's hit this 5 wood again. Okay, it's fading over. We'll see where we end up. Might be okay. A little shorter than I wanted to be, but it went 225. And I'm trying to swing pretty easy. There's no reason to hit these fairway woods hard unless you're incredibly accurate and you hit off the center of the club every time. Usually what you're gonna do is just hit some nasty hook or some nasty fade. Well, let's call it a hook or a slice, and then you're just gonna be pissed off. Ball's gonna eject left. We're downhill, but we got some wind in our face. Now we got a lot of wind in our face. Oh, my Lanta. What was that, buddy? Can I get a mully? That was just a crummy swing. I don't know, guys. Golf's hard. All right, this is a very troublesome shot. I probably wouldn't take this in real life. How far do we got to get just to get onto the green here? Barely. 30 something yards. Deep rough. You could probably hit a lot worse shots than that, even though it felt like trash. Seems like it was thin. It was a good shot nonetheless. This is for par, so we're probably at 13 feet. We're probably looking at another bogey. I'm not being pessimistic, I'm being realistic. 13 playing 12, and if you lose the ball, it's gone into the bunker, so don't lose the ball. Guys, this is better than average golf. 2 over par, 1 over par, mostly bogey train. If you can play bogey golf on the real golf course, you are playing pretty damn good golf. 180 to that dog leg, that's way too far. So here you're looking at trying to land a ball on a very narrow fairway past a tree, and it's going uphill, but you do have a tailwind. Thinking at this altitude, we let the 5 wood rip once again and see where we are when the dust settles. Maybe try to hit something a little less slicey. That may not be on the fairway, but man, that was a gorgeous little shot there. Little over the top. 241 with a 5 wood. It's kind of crazy what you can do with a fairway wood. And then since this is a par 5, we'll see how cute we can get hitting out of some rough. Up here you'll see we're at the 150 marker. If you want to get cute through these trees, which I don't think I necessarily recommend. If you get right here to this next dog leg left, you're looking at about a 100-yard shot in, which is really, I don't mind that at all. It's uphill too, and you can see that the fairway banks from right to left. Couldn't have hit it better myself. And now we should have about 100 yards into the pin. Okay, you're uphill with a tailwind. So it's normally going to play 94, 95 yards, but you've got a tailwind. Ball's going to want to go a little to the left. Tailwind. Okay, utility wedge, ping G425 utility wedge. Good job, but ... right? We were not able to get the ball to check. That's not a skill that I currently possess, so we're probably looking at another bogey here, even though we did a really good job getting in here. All it takes is one bad shot, and that utility wedge shot wasn't even a bad shot. It just went further than I wanted it to, really. That's a combination of me not knowing how far these clubs hit and not judging the wind correctly, etc., etc. This is 18 feet playing probably 23 feet. Take your bogey, go to the next hole. There's some bears down there, that's pretty dope. Okay, this is a very short par 4. Try to drive it if you want to, but you can see that there are many bunkers guarding the green. I feel like it's a smarter idea to just poke something down the fairway and line up and take your next shot. It felt a little towy. Hopefully we don't get eaten by a bear, especially if it's a mama bear with some cubs. You probably don't, that's somewhere you don't want to be. Okay, this is going to play about 84 yards with a slight tailwind. We know the utility wedge hits way too far for that, and we got plenty of green to deal with. Let's hit the 58, the trusty 58. Looks like the trusty 58's covered in lawn, which will transfer to your impact screen. Don't do it, it's not worth it. Come back. Yeah, but go the other way. Don't go that way. Go toward the hole. Based on what just happened, I know we're up for a tricky putt. If your ball hits the green and rolls back toward the hole, but doesn't go in and stays above the hole, you're probably in for a tricky putt because you're putting downhill. Now this one you can see is going to go up a hill, crest, and then down a hill. Most of your break is from left to right on the uphill. So I'd say maybe aim a couple of cups to the left. Not a couple hundred cups, maybe there, and then trickle the ball over. It's just going to be a tricky putt, especially as the ball starts to gain speed after it crests the hill. Not a bad read. We'll take our par. That was a very short par 4 though. What do we got here on number 7? .175 playing 167. Wind's blowing left. You don't have a sucker pin or anything here to really make your life hard. So if you're playing 167, maybe hit your 160 club and see if you can roll the ball up to the pin. If you are good at getting a ball high up in the air, which is going to be a little easier here than on a normal hole, maybe you'll have a better job of getting the ball to stop. Little fader. We've left ourselves short-sighted. Guys, sometimes it's not a good idea to go for the pin. What I should have done there is gone for the fat part of the green, and then it would have faded over and still been maybe near the pin. But golf is hard. Left, everything's wanting to go left. At least give yourself a chance to roll to the pin. Okay, that didn't go off at all like I thought it would. God bless, or whatever deity you follow, the people that can get a ball to check from that distance. That's a gift. So now what we're looking at here is probably a bogey, because it took us 2 tries to get on the green on a par 3. I know you guys can do math. I'm just illustrating how easy it is to play bogey golf. This is 13-8 playing 17-8. Good putt, but probably like to go long rather than short. If you go long, at least you had some chance of the ball going in the hole, whereas if you go short, there was never a chance to begin with. Number 8's got lateral hazard on the left. 247 is right where it starts to get thin. Let's try this 5. Well, let's see how high up the landing area is first. So let's see what we're doing. Okay, the landing area is 6 yards up, so you're gonna hit a bit of a backstop. I haven't really seen a hole here yet where I wanted to hit driver. That's unfortunate. That's going to make this hole way longer than it needed to be. That didn't even go 200 yards. Ball's going to eject left. Oh, it's a par 5, so there is still a bit of hope. Let's try to get the ball up to that 172 area. Just a nice easy swing with the same club, maybe choke down. And then that ball happened to go left. What do we do there? Over the top. We're coming over the top. Need to get that back foot back further. 76 playing 81 out of regular rough, so we probably need to hit about 90 to get to the pin. Let's just give it a nice easy little shot. You can see the wind's blowing to the left. I really need to start cleaning these clubs at the end of the round. Sometimes it's just so hot, and I just want to get the hell out of there so bad that I tell myself, I'll do it when I get home. And then guess what happens? Doesn't happen when I get home. That felt too far. Come on back. Okay, I don't think this putt's gonna be that fun. It is for birdie though, I believe. Yep, so let's see if we can get us a par. Downhill all the way, breaking right to left, especially at the beginning. Just try to get the ball near the pin here. This is gonna be a very tough putt for any golfer of any skill level. It's 36 playing 36, 26, about 22 feet. Yep. That's what separates the boys from the men. The men make those putts, the boys go to the next hole with a par. What do we got here? Pretty straight. 332 to the pin. And you know, unless you land on the green, you're taking 2 shots anyway. What's going to leave us with a nice little shot in here? Some sort of 215-yard drive is going to leave us with a decent little shot in. I'm reading a Ben Hogan book right now. I'm reading it again. It's called Power Golf. But he's got, he says you should do everything you can to get as close as humanly possible to the pin off the tee. Which is not exactly the golf I'm playing. And I'd imagine when I do possess the skill level to play that kind of golf, my scores will drop considerably. On shot number 2, we've kind of left ourselves with quite a long approach shot. It's 144 out of the rough. I don't know, maybe you want to play at 150. And then the ball is going to try to eject left out of this lie, and you got wind blowing left. At least give yourself a little bit of a chance here to be near the pin. Okay, we are at altitude. I probably need to club down even further than I have been. That was an 8-iron. And now we've got another long putt. She's breaking pretty good at the beginning and then kind of mellows out. That's probably pretty safe. It's 60 feet playing 43 feet. It's going to be another good putt that's probably going to stay short. Oh boy, can you imagine what my score would be right now if those putts had been falling? Probably damn near even. But on the other side of the coin, you can't expect putts that long to fall. It's unrealistic, and it just starts to build unrealistic expectations of the golf you think you should be playing. And I'm not a fan of that. Another short par 4. I would imagine there's some people that are just grinding this course apart. Can I see a scoreboard yet? I can't even see a scoreboard. I got some sneaking suspicion right now that I'm not even playing. Like, these aren't even counting for anything because it's not signing them off in my list. And for some reason, I can't see a scoreboard, which kind of has me wondering what is actually going on. 247. I'll have to go in once I get all showered up and have some dinner. I'll lay in bed and doom scroll and maybe check that out. Let's move over to the right side of the tee box. That is not the right side of the tee box. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. There we go. There we go. This is a tricky shot. I might hit the tree. Yep. So here's why that was so stupid. I knew that that was a probable outcome, and I accepted that, and I did it anyway. And now we are almost certainly going to take at least a double bogey here. I knew there was a chance of me hitting that exact shot and hitting that tree, and I still did it. That's where you separate great golfers from good golfers, is that when you see that that is a probable outcome, you don't take that shot. I'm not trying to kick a dead horse here, but clearly identified that that could happen and did it anyway. Okay, you knew you were going to lose a ton of speed out of that lie, is what it is. And now you've got 170-yard approach, not ideal. Try to get your butt up and land something near the pin and save bogey or double bogey or whatever the hell you can save here. Come on back, don't stick up there. It's crazy to me how much I'm crowding the golf ball and I'm still hitting that shot. Okay, let's see here. Aim left, you're going downhill. That's probably too much. It's 36-7 playing 32, 33. I didn't quite hit the ball. Ooh, it's going to make us putt again. That was just a bad putt. Eight feet 5 inches should be flat. All right, there's another bogey. All right, let's be a little smarter about our play. What do we got going on here? 290 to the landing area. Let's spice it up a little. I haven't hit driver yet. That was a little weird. That was super weird. Good shot. I think my tee bounced up and hit the scoreboard button. Okay, this is a tricky hole, guys. We went 270 and we still have about 165, 170 into the pin, which is kind of crazy. Let's see, what do I want to play here? Wind's gonna blow the ball to the left. Pin's probably just out of aim so that the wind blows it into the center of the green. Oh, it didn't blow into the left at all. Bounce left. All right, this is a shot nobody wants in real life. You're chipping up a hill to a downhill lie on a green. This is no fun for anybody. It's gonna go left. You kind of just want to land this as close as you can to the fringe. See what happens. That had a 50-50 chance of being a great shot, and then the shot that it ended up being. The difference between a good golfer and a great golfer is they do what they need to do to get that to be a great shot instead of a lame-ass shot like the one you just saw that's going to cost us a stroke. That was also a very lame shot. Based on what I saw, that ball would have rolled a lot further in real life. Trust me, I play a lot of golf. So now we're probably looking at our first dub. Yeah, let's just get the ball there. Mistakes were made. We lost some 50-50 bets. Is what it is. Got out of there with a bogey after all of that bull crap. 150 playing 10 down, so it's playing 140. Ball's gonna blow to the left. I made this mistake before by aiming to the right of the green. Let's see if it bites me in the ass again. Okay, that was a good shot. It was just like literally a few feet too short, and now we've got some serious work to do. Short-sided green. You just got to pop this out and get up. Just like that. There's really no way of knowing what the lie's like in the sand. You can see how one shot that was just a couple of yards too short has turned this hole into a nightmare. We're on the fourth shot on a par 3, downhill. If you go too far, you are going in the bunker. So my advice to you, especially in GSPro, is to just try to get in the circle. If you want to go for the pin, go for it. But if you are even a smidge too far, you are going to be playing the same shot we just played over and over and over again like it's Groundhog Day. Don't do it. And I think that's our first double of the day. Just a tricky pin position, and probably should have not attacked the pin as aggressively, but now we're at a 7 over. Good, decent ball striking though. I really can't complain. Let's see where our landing area is. There is a chance of hitting this tree, and I don't really want to. So we probably want to hit about a 210 shot. You guys, you can course manage until the cows come home. If you can't hit your ball approximately where you want it to go, approximately the distance you intend to go, course management's out the window. I won't say that is exactly the plan I had, because it didn't carry very far and it didn't go very far. But we're okay. We're okay. Now on this par 5, you've got to decide if you want to spray and pray down there. You're going to need to go about, I don't know what, 250 to get to the pin. Or you can just do a smart little layup shot over here at the 150 marker. It's not the 150 marker, it's 150 from you. And that should leave you some semblance of a good approach shot in. 67 playing 75 or so. There's a lot of danger on the left. I am going to just try to get this ball somewhere on the green. This will be interesting to see where this ball goes. Something just disconnected from my computer. It was my button box. This computer and Bluetooth, buddy. So what do we got here? I'm gonna pause you. All right, I'm back. I just plugged the button box in hardwire. I'm sure that's the same problem I'm having with the square launch monitor. Kind of makes you think. This is 18 playing 14. Bit of a misread there, I'd say. I think it's going to make us putt again. Oh, it didn't. Okay, this hole again is daring you to do stupid things, to which I say, do stupid things if you so choose. Approach shot's going to be a bit tricky. It's downhill. It's going to play 186 with a tailwind. Maybe hit you a little 170 club and see where the dust settles. Do what you got to do to stay out of that sand trap, though. That might be a little exaggerated, but now we're right back where we were before. Don't roll off the back of the green. All right. Got a deuce of a shot here. It's going to want to go, 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 and then go some more, and it's also going to go to the left. Give yourself a chance. See? That even was a pretty severe misread. I did not calculate that enough. So this is for par. You're not going to make very many shots at 26 feet out. Give yourself a bit of a chance at least. Try to stop it in the circle. Cup's good, circle will do, and then go to the next hole with your bogey. It says it's flat. That just didn't seem flat to me, but I am not the best putter in the world. 9-footer for bogey, so we might be looking at another double here. If you look at some of these other guys on the sim golf scene in YouTube, you'll see that their approach shots are landing close to the pin. And then they're sometimes, I'd say more often than not, parring out because they're able to get into the circle. But occasionally, especially on a short par 5 or something, they'll have an eagle look for birdie that they'll end up sinking or getting into the circle for birdie. And that's where you're going to get the majority of your birdies is on par 5s. That must have been Healy or low. It didn't have much trajectory. It didn't go very high. Kind of want to get more than that out of a 5 wood, but that's fine. And then you got what, 169 to the pin with a left to right wind. Little fader there. Not a bad shot. Could have probably hit an 8-iron. And now we've got another weird putt, but we should be able to get over there for par, hopefully. It's quite a downhill. It's going to break more than you think. Give yourself at least a chance of getting in that circle. And then you're playing 57 feet. That's actually going to feel like 57 to 18, 57, 47, I don't know, 39, 40 feet. And then that's going to come up short, maybe driving another putt. Yeah, I'd say from that distance with that break downhill, that ain't bad. This one I don't want to hardly have outside the cup at all. 7 feet, playing about 5. And then you get out of there with your par, which is great. Par golf is great. 16th hole is 360, playing about 327. You got OB on the right. Let's go ahead and hit the driver and see if that ends up being to our detriment. We do not want to hit to the right though. I'd rather be in this crap over here than take 2 strokes for being OB. A Healy drive. Driver has not been firing on all cylinders for quite some time now. You've got about a $112 to the pin. I'd say go far instead of go into the water, because you can see that the course wants to funnel you into the water. If you hit too far up on that green, you might roll backwards. So I don't know, whatever your 115 club is. I don't happen to know what that is yet. And then ball's gonna want to come out right and be blown to the right. So maybe just get it on the damn green like an adult. About right there. Looks like I hold that. And then get your sorry butt up to that hole for a possible birdie. Probably a par at 20 feet. And then if you go past the hole, you can count on doing this again and again and again. And it should be a pretty good time. 1910 playing 2010, let's call it 21. What was the HLA on that? Pretty bad HLA. 1.5 degrees is gonna make putting difficult. This is gonna play 120 into the wind. I'd say hit your 120 club and just know that. Let's see if this is a good club here or not. Utility wedge. It's good if it sits. Get your sorry butt up there for your par. It's breaking pretty good at the beginning, and then it does some stuff up there. We'll see what it actually does. 21 playing 23. It wanted to. I didn't hit it hard enough. Par golf's good golf. Gonna finish about normal here. Bear Dance Golf Club, 550 yard par 5. Let's try to keep this from slicing over into the OB. Should be fine. Wasn't able to hold the fairway, but these fairways are pretty narrow. Three wood. Again, we are jumping from rough to rough to rough, but that's a good shot. .81 into the pin. Ball's gonna wanna go right, wind is blowing left. This will be a birdie attempt. Get out of here with your par, finish out the round, and eat you some dinner. Uphill, left to right breaker. That should be fine. 17.9 playing 14.9, 15 feet. And we almost finished out there with a birdie. Not a bad round except for this double. We had a birdie right out of the gate. Didn't pan out. Not really worried about score right now. I feel like the ball striking in that round was very good. Didn't have any hosel rockets or toenails or nothing like that. I'm pretty happy with the round. Yeah. All right, guys. As always, I appreciate you watching. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.